Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, people of all ages, welcome back to the Sticky Floors podcast. I am one of your hosts, CJ, and I am joined by Mr. Will. And we are closing out 2024, and we're closing it out with a recap season, the season show tonight. So no new movies. If you want to check out new films, you want to check out some films we reviewed. For the month of December, we did all Christmas influenced movies. So we did Red One, we did Gremlins, we did Reindeer Games, and we did Eyes Wide Shut. So check those out on our YouTube page, and please make sure you subscribe and like. Also check them out on our Apple Podcast page. Also check them out on our Spotify page. Basically, wherever you listen to podcasts, we on there. So check it out. Check that out. And like I said, tonight's going to be a little bit of a different show, but you'll enjoy the journey with us. I'm back as always with my main man, Mr. Will, giving us some holiday vibes with the
Yes,
Santa
sir.
Claus hat. Mr. Will, how you doing?
All right, man. What's going on with you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I see you in a festive mood with the hat on, man. You're gonna be jumping down chimneys this year, man.
Nah, you
Man.
forgot, man. It's the Red One technology, the shrink joint.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
man,
That's
the
right.
shrink joint.
So you shrinking down people's chimneys, man.
Yeah.
You terrorizing neighborhoods.
You already know, man. You already know.
Good stuff, man. All right. So like last year, I know we did this kind of show. We just kind of went back and forth. We're doing like 12 days of Christmas, so we got 12 questions.
Yep.
Movie related, some of them related to movies we've covered this year, some of them related to movies that we wish we covered this year. Some of them is related to some movies we might cover in the year to come. I got my first question for you, man. I know you're a very well-traveled, well-viewed moviegoer. First question, what's the best new movie that you saw in 2024?
We're starting it off like that, huh?
Right. No, come off the bench and just shoot threes from the corner, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're just coming out shooting, no
Klay
warm-up shots,
Thompson. Nothing. Oh, man, get in the corner and the ball's coming to you.
I think honestly, man, there were very, very few movies to choose from, and it was disheartening. I say that because when we started this joint, we had a bunch of movies that like we were running through our list, and we didn't even think about movies in the theater per se. Sure that they were there, but there were so many movies that we wanted to touch upon as far as like our overall history of being moviegoers.
Yeah.
And then once we actually were like, yeah, you know what? There's a dearth of material, but let's also try and incorporate some of these newer movies or movies that are in theaters at present time. It gave us even another chamber to enter into.
I hear you with the Wu-Tang reference.
Yes, sir.
Chambers, 36 chambers. Mm-hmm.
So then, this past year, after watching, Oppenheimer and films of that ilk, it was really like, this is it, like really. But with that being said, I'm gonna go with Dune 2, and the reason being is we did Dune 1. Both you and I are admirers of the genre of sci-fi and suspense and action. And even there's elements of thriller in there. And I think this touched upon those. I also think that with the great acting of the ensemble cast from both 1 and 2, Zendaya was on a high, so that also made our review more relevant. So it just touched upon a lot of different things. I definitely like the story, the cinematography, the writing, the screenplay was really good, man. Like there was a lot of things in there that were really dope. And to see actors that I've seen in other movies, whether they were killed off in Mission Impossible, I can't think of her name right now, but her playing what you call its mother in this was really refreshing. That was really refreshing. And it had some very memorable lines and scenes. So I'm rocking with Dune 2, man.
What you
I
would have to agree with that, man. Dune 2 was one of the it was a really great movie going experience. It's just one
Yeah,
of those things that I always felt like you have to see it in the theaters.
yeah,
I'm sure it'll probably get a re-release right around Oscar time because it's definitely gonna be nominated for some Oscar films.
yeah,
I also think it was like probably the beginning of a great year for Timothy Chalamet. You know,
yeah,
he just was cooking in that, and then he's got the Bob Dylan joint now,
yeah,
which it's getting a lot of buzz and everything. He's getting Oscar buzz around that. So yeah, I just think that Dune 2 was absolutely like the best movie that I saw this year. And I gotta say that we covered it in episode
yep,
37. So
yep.
if you have not heard our review of it, check it out because I thought it was one of our best shows, one of our most fun shows that we did. So yeah, man, Dune 2. That's what I got, man.
Oh, and her
Yeah.
name is Rebecca Ferguson. I didn't want
Yes.
to slight her, but also in that joint was Florence Pugh, who's also
Yeah.
getting some pub. Especially with Thunderbolts coming out, a
Yeah.
movie I'm anticipating
Yeah.
being
Me
very
too.
well written. So I'm looking forward to that.
Javier Bardem was in
Yeah,
there
your boy.
cooking.
I was just
Yeah.
about to
Yeah.
mention him, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Javier was doing his thing. Even Stalin Skarsgård. A lot of people might know him from a lot of the Marvel movies, especially Thor. Christopher Walken, King of New York
Yeah.
fame, Dave Bautista, Josh
Mhm.
Brolin. A lot of dope people in this, man. So shout out
Yeah.
to them.
And my man who played what's his name with the no eyebrows, man.
Oh,
Fade
yeah,
Rafa.
Fade.
Yeah.
That's oh man, what's my man's name? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank.
Also in the Bike Riders
Yeah,
that we did.
yeah. Oh man,
Yeah, I'll look it up
yeah.
while we're going. But yeah, no, great movie, great cast. Top
Austin
like
Butler. Austin
Austin
Butler.
Butler, yes, Austin
Yeah,
Butler, yes,
I
yes,
knew it come
yes.
to me. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, who also played Elvis.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, did the Elvis biopic a couple years
yep,
back. So yeah, man, just awesome movie. Definitely agree with that, man.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. All right. So I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. What's the worst movie you saw this year, man?
There it is. There it is. All right. So from the other end of the court, I don't have to think about this one too long because it's Joker 2, man.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding, ding,
it's it's
ding.
it's Joker 2. You know what Joker 2 is like? Joker 2 is like if you ever watch a basketball game and it's like one player that scores like 35, 8, and 7, but the team loses by 26 points. And you're like, damn, that one dude was cooking, but the rest of the team just love. That's how Joker 2 was for
Yeah,
me, man. Like I really, really, really like Joaquin Phoenix in it. I just thought he's amazing the whole movie, but the
yeah.
whole movie is not good at all. And then making it a musical that killed it too. And yeah, it's Joker 2. And by the way, we did cover that one
Yes,
also
sir.
too.
Yep, yep.
Episode 52.
52.
So if you wanna
You know how
get more,
ironic that is too?
yeah, 50 because for
DC
new 50.
52 and
I thought about that. I thought about that. Yeah, the new 52. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's Joker 2 for me, or Joker Folie à Deux,
Yeah, there you go.
as you would say, man. So yeah, that's what it is, man. What about you? What
nah,
was the worst that you saw in
that's
2024?
we're simpatico so far, man. We're in sync. Uh
Yeah.
I can appreciate the attempt, but
Mhm.
but as you would say, they didn't stick the landing. They didn't.
Oh, they ain't stick the run to the joint. They tripped and run into the horse to jump on the thing.
Yeah, man.
They didn't even get to the
there,
land.
there was a lot going on,
It fell
and
off the balance beam on that joint, man.
it's just so disheartening because, man, like, yo, the first joint was actually all right. You know what I'm saying?
Was.
Even though it wasn't my cup of tea, I could
Yeah.
get into certain elements and I could see where they were headed, the direction and the scope of things. And Joaquin killed, man. You know what I mean? Like,
he did. He won best actor for
yeah,
that
you
joint,
know what
and
I'm saying?
deserved it.
Yeah. So it's like, dag. It's almost like that Jay-Z line, like, this is your dad? Like, really? So,
Yeah, man. Yeah, just it's failed expectations on that one, man. Failed
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah.
But look, that's a good segue to my next question. So I got a comic book movie question for you. So
All right.
this year, 2025 coming up, man. It's gonna be the return of the DCU versus MCU.
Yeah.
Right. DCU's got a couple things coming out. MCU's too. I want you to put your fortune teller hat on. So they got the Christmas hat on, but the fortune teller version is
Switch up for a minute.
Yep. Okay, so here's the question. At the end of 2025, will people be saying that the MCU is still on top, or will they be saying that the DCU is the new king?
All right, so peep game, man. Love this setup. Good question too, because I've been watching a lot of anime and a lot of animation and cartoons and things late, and I literally just completed the first 4 episodes of Creature Commandos.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. How is it?
yo, it's tight, man. It's
Really?
tight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
shout out to
Yeah.
Indira Vanna. Shout out to Frank
Okay.
Grillo. Like, what's her name? She was in the Woman King or whatever, that African story where,
Viola Davis.
yeah, Viola Davis. Yeah, like, yo, all of them get busy, man. Like, it's very well. It's a very compelling story. There's comedic elements. The only thing I'm not really keen on is like the 1960-ish, 1970-ish drawing, like that style.
Oh,
But
okay. Okay.
because it
The
just
actual
seems,
animation style.
yeah, it seems a little bit
Okay.
more faded. Like you could tell it's dated, but it's in the but the story itself is supposed to be, present day.
Okay.
But it just appears to be dated. But nonetheless, DC has made a concentrated effort to try and establish themselves, where they had the first set of cartoon animation where it was the Crisis storyline, the first one.
Yeah, which I love that actually.
Yeah,
I really enjoy watching
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So, I could see that they actually are very intentional with what they're doing, and they're very careful about what they release and how they release it. But even with that said, nah, then they're not messing with Marvel. Well,
Wait, after all that setup, man, I thought you was gonna say, yeah,
nah,
DC got it this year.
nah, that's why I did it. That's
You
why.
said no, you zinged where I thought you was gonna
Yeah,
zag.
nah, you got to give some props and acknowledgement, but
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
token, you got to be critical.
Yeah.
I mean, look, first of all, they got the Captain America joint that's about to drop.
Yeah,
Um,
Black Cap won.
yeah, you know what I mean? And they talk about him going to Wakanda, so you get to see what's going on that side of the globe. You finally got the introduction of Red Hulk. Shout out to Harrison Ford. Condolences to William Hurt and his family. Rest in power, admirers.
Yeah.
At the same token, you're also going to get some nuggets, some treats in there that they're not really trying to blow up. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, they got a couple other things in store.
Yeah.
With the whole Daredevil Born Again joint.
Yeah.
What
Which
if?
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, What If
Yeah,
just dropped on the 22nd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they got some things in store. Thunderbolts, like I had mentioned earlier in the joint. Unfortunately, Craven just dropped.
Yeah, I feel like the MCU don't accept that. That's like that's unsanctioned.
Yeah,
those are unsanctioned movies.
And I would agree. You know what I mean? Like on some like
they don't even put those on the DC on the Disney page.
Not at all.
You can't even find those.
Yeah, nah, those are the joints where they're like, nah, this is the bootleg version.
Yeah,
Or,
they're in the back. They're in the back of the store.
Yeah, or like, no, we deny their
store.
existence. Yeah, like, no, that wasn't us.
Yes, I get it, man. I think I tend to agree with you. And I think part of it is, sometimes the race is like one group is just a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah.
It's gonna take the DCU a chance to catch up with them. I've always thought really that DC did better cartoons.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really where they excel. They've been trying to break into the movie thing for a while.
Yeah.
I just saw the Superman trailer. I know like everybody is loving that. And, even with something like that, man, I feel like there's gotta be a way to tell a story about Superman where I don't feel like I already know some of the greatest hits of it. Like I feel like even watching and visually the trailer is really nice. And I can see they try to do a lot with the color scheme and trying to brighten things up. But if it's always gonna be like, okay, Superman is 6'4", 230 pounds, and he works at the Daily Planet, and everybody thinks he's a pushover. Like that don't make no sense. And he's gonna be like, I'm fiending for Lois Lane, and she's a 4, and there's Lex Luthor.
She's a 4.
there's Lex Luthor, he wants to kill me, but I'm not tripping off that. And oh no, here's some kryptonite. Like if this is gonna be like those greatest hits, like I need them to do something a little bit different. And James Gunn done a great job with the Guardians of the Galaxy films. And so, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I just feel like it's going to take some time for DC to catch up. So I agree with you. Marvel's got it. And I think what's really going to shift it for Marvel this year, I think Thunderbolts will be really good. I'm really looking forward to that. And like you said, Daredevil, Born Again, I love the Daredevil on Netflix. So to see it, MCU, and I feel like they're not going to, they're going to keep it R-rated, keep it kind of grisly like it should be. That's gonna be a good one.
And they also retained all the actors from Netflix, and they're going to incorporate
kept it consistent,
them.
No doubt.
Yeah, and fact that they got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming out on cartoons in next month in January. Then they got what's the joint? Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal.
I forgot about you're right. MCU got it, man. Yeah. MCU's out in the league, man.
And you got to remember too, even though it's not my cup of tea, that Agatha joint supposedly was getting some type of
I watched it was really good.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So it seems like Marvel firmly has established itself and is recommitted to putting out quality product. Shout out to Kevin Feige.
Yeah, they stomping people out like Ohio State stomping on Tennessee.
Yeah, that's nasty work. Yeah.
Or like the Packers stomping the Saints out last night on Monday night.
Yo, one of our boys is.
I see the team get bageled in a pro game. My gosh.
One of our boys is a Saints fan, man. I had to hit him up like, yo, you good, yo? You good, homie? Like, yo,
you could turn that off in the first quarter. You got nothing.
Yeah, you got curb stomped, man. I got a question for you though, man. One that's not on my list that it made me just think of it. What is a series that you've seen recently from one of the, if not one of the major joints, then any streaming service that you peeped, like that really caught your interest that you would like to bring some shine to, yo?
Interesting question. Oh man, I wasn't 100% prepared for that. All right, so let me think. Series that I watched. So here's one that I watched, right? And I thought it was an interesting story. On Apple TV, I watched Disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
So I watched Disclaimer with Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Very interesting story. Superb acting across the board. Great dialogue. Those are things that I always latch on to.
Is that the joint where she's like a ruler of a country or whatever?
No, that's the joint on HBO.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. That's like more of a comedy thing. Disclaimer is it's a story about a woman who, I don't want to give it away in case people haven't watched it, but it's basically about someone who has their reputation destroyed by someone else in a revenge plot, and that's that. It seems like, now I will say that's what it seems like it's about in the beginning, and then it levels down from that. But the acting was really interesting. It's also based on a book, so if you're familiar with the book, then you know where the story goes at the end. The one thing I'll say about it is that it's funny. I was just talking about this with somebody last week. Is that the ending kind of could have been foreshadowed a bit better. So the way it ends, it feels like you should have known that that's where it was going, and you don't. And normally, like you can do a surprise ending with certain things, but this one it doesn't quite land as well.
Okay.
But it was like, it's like 6 episodes, like really it flows really well. And it also does not give you a lot of concrete answers. So there's still some unanswered questions at the end, but it's done in a good way. So I'd say Disclaimer, man.
All right. I'm gonna have to check that out.
That's what
I asked that because you always manage to find like a nugget here and there, man, that like most people may have overlooked or didn't even just notice. So I'm definitely gonna add that to the list, man.
Got it. Yeah. That's a good way. It's a good segue to my question. So what is one of the most underrated movies?
Yo, I had a hard time with that.
Something that like people didn't see, but you're like, oh, you should have checked that out, man.
Yeah, no, that joint, man, I was going back and forth on that because I was racking my brain like, yo, what movie have I seen that like really was like, yo, this is dope. This is something that doesn't get enough publicity. And then I was like, there is no movie.
You don't have it.
Yeah, like I was like, no, literally there is no movie. Like everything that has gotten publicity, attention, recognition, got it in the spirit of where it should be at that particular time.
Okay.
Now, for those that want to revisit a joint, this is a joint that I actually saw, and this is Den of Thieves. And I referenced
joint with
yeah,
yeah, and they're about to make a part
that,
two
and
about to come
that's
out,
why
right?
and that's why I was
Yeah.
racking my brain on it, because I was like, what's something that was culturally relevant, which was also present as far as like coming out in the theaters or tie-in or whatever have you, that like would be like, oh, okay, I remember this from such and such. And I was thinking about Blood Diamonds. I was thinking about what's the joint the Wizard of Oz with uh what's her name? She's married to Ashton Kutcher. I can't think of her name. She
I
was
know
in
what you're
that
talking
70s
about.
show.
Yeah, yeah,
Amelia
yeah.
Kunis. And I was like, oh, all right, since Wicked is in the thing and it's the same characters, et cetera, et cetera. But then I was like, I really like Den of Thieves, man. Like I like that element of you know, cops and robbers. Everybody knows who they are, so there is no pretenses, there's no
Yeah.
platitudes. Like everything is direct in your face. Say what I mean what I say. Like, these dudes, they do heists. And then the suspenseful, like, are these guys gonna make it? And then unfortunately, I don't like when the heroes or whatever have you die at the end.
Yeah, you
and
do.
and
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
you do.
case, the guys that were the heroes were the quote unquote villains, because the
Yeah.
cops were really corrupt. So, yeah, I'm rocking with Den of Thieves, man.
All
I'm
right.
rocking with
Yeah,
Den
no,
of
I, yeah, I dig that. I dig that. I would say I don't even know if it's underrated, but I'm gonna go with The Killer,
Thieves.
one of
Dope
your joints.
movie.
I'm surprised you did. I'm surprised you didn't say that. The
Nah, because
Killer with Michael Fassbender.
no, you know why I didn't say that, man? Because I think it would be a movie that we're going to cover. So
Oh, it could be that. It could be that.
I didn't think of it like, oh, in that category or in that vein. It was more like,
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to do these things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I
The
didn't.
Killer, yeah, The Killer. I saw it. So I saw that actually first time I saw it in the movie theater.
Okay.
And I actually didn't. I don't know, like maybe sometimes the mode that you're in affects how you view a film. Like, and I
Yeah.
guess I wasn't in a great mood because I was like, yeah, this is whatever. And then it came to Netflix, and I watched it again, and I was like, man, this is a good movie. Now, think about it. You put David Fincher with Michael Fassbender, you're going to get a good product. But
Yeah.
the second time around, and sometimes some movies are just better like for a streaming thing than they are like movie theater experience, and vice versa. The subliminal subconscious movie that's happening there, and like Michael Fassbender's thoughts about everything,
Yeah.
it plays out better. Like for some reason, like just sitting home when you're not distracted, you just kind of lock in.
Mm-hmm.
His assessment of everything, and you realize he's doing so much without looking like he's trying. Great film. Definitely one that we'll cover at some point. I know you love movies with killing in the title, so so we'll definitely cover that at some point, man.
But you know why? I thought you referenced that. I thought you referenced that joint because of the reason why it had killer in the name. And
That's the thing, man.
no, but shout out to Michael Fassbender, because he's also got the project, which could be viewed as a prequel to his character in The Killer, called The Company. Yeah, The Agency.
The Agency. Yeah.
With
Look, man,
Paramount.
I've been looking at Paramount Plus trying to figure out what email address I could create that I might be able to get a 7-day pass. So I could watch that because it looks like it's good. You know what I mean? It's got Jeffrey Wright in it. What's his name? From Pretty Woman.
Richard Gere.
Yeah, Richard Gere's in it. Like it's a good cast.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, what version of my name plus this email address plus 6 letters and digits can I create to get another Paramount Plus free 7 days, man? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yo, that's hilarious. He said, yo, which fake email? That's with 6 letters.
Give me another 7 days, man, so I can watch season 1 of that.
That's tough, man. That's tough. All right. Well, since you put out the anticipated joint, I mean, excuse me, since you put out the underrated joint, I'm gonna put out the overrated joint. Um, what is the most overrated movie that you saw this past year?
Most overrated. Oh gosh. Look, I know I listen, I just let me say this, man. This is the joint that I
CJ's about
talked
to
about
upset
it.
some people.
I talked about this, man. It's people still to this day that when they see me, they like, yo, why ain't you like Bad Boys 4, man? It happens all the time, man. Look, I
CJ,
don't like Bad Boys 4, right? I don't look, it's not doesn't mean I have a problem with Will Smith, doesn't mean I have a problem with Martin Lawrence. I just did not
yeah, you do.
like that movie. And it made buku dollars, buku bucks, man. They're definitely making Bad Boys 5, whatever, 6. That joint might be like Fast and the Furious. They
I
might
was
be in
about to say that.
wheelchairs
Yep.
by the end of it. But I absolutely thought that movie was not as good as everybody else thought it did. We covered it I
Yep.
didn't even do a good job. Yo, episode 42, we did Bad Boys 4. You can check it out. For all my comments there, but it was absolutely not one of my favorites. I thought it was the most overrated. I stand on that. I put my name on it. People hear
It's
it. They
brand
expect to hear
name.
it from me. It's a brand name like Pepsi Cola. That's what it is, man. That's why I went with that. What you got, man? What was your most overrated movie in 2024? Because
You
that
know
was
what it
mine.
was? Challengers, man. It just wasn't worth the hype.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm sitting there like I
Oh,
I
that's a
had
good
to
one.
I had to dead it, man. Like
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
for,
good one.
fortunately
We
I
didn't
made
we didn't even cover it because
no.
that's how we both was like, nah, good.
Unfortunately, I made the smart decision of putting it on the the on-demand joint instead of going into theaters and wasting close to $20 on one ticket. But yeah, man, started watching and I was like, I don't want to see an aggressive, sexualized Zendaya.
Zendaya, yeah,
Yeah, like
right,
I was just like,
right.
this is whack, man. Like
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
self-grandizing in this joint. Like, and it's not
yeah.
her, it's just the way that the story is written. And then I'm just like,
Yeah, I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed.
and
Yeah, it's a good one.
the dudes are like, what's the term? Simp? Like they just
Yeah, it's a lot of
fawning
Simpsons.
over her. Like, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, and not that,
It's some Simpsons in there,
yeah,
man.
and it's not
It's some
that
Sim-
she's like not attractive or anything like that. It's just like she's brutal to them. Like there's nothing nurturing or endearing
it's
or
a it's just not a great it's not the thing that got me with that joint is that like how if you're gonna do a sports movie, you
oh
have to have people that actually seem like they could play that sport. Now, interestingly, I think Zendaya could pull off the
yeah no,
I'm a tennis player,
yeah
right?
no that's cool
But
yeah
the two dudes I
no
never felt like they could
no
really be tennis players
not
between the two of them. So it was like that part, the sports part of it wasn't, as good as I thought it could have been either.
no not at all. And that's why I was like, you know what? I heard Cam said it best. Cameron said it best. Shout out to Cam and Mace. He's like, yo, man, when he was talking about Love and Basketball, he's like, yo, I can't see somebody do something and then they cut to the next frame and the dude is about to Omar Epps is about to make a dunk, and then all of a sudden he's on the rim hanging. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
You
there's
want to see
gotta
him get up there.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you got
actually want
yeah.
to see it, not him, walking up a ladder or using a trampoline or something to
Mm-hmm.
get up there. Like, nah, it's got to be
Mm-hmm.
believable.
Yeah. Well, like that's one of the reasons why like Oliver Stone was so intentional about
Yeah,
getting actors who could play those things in movies like Any Given Sunday. Like
yeah,
trying
no,
to make sure that you have that authenticity because that's what people are going for. Like that's what
exactly.
makes it legit.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely.
All right, man. Next question I got for you. Also, man, I'm having fun with these, man. I'm gonna go to the movies, comic book movies. You made an allusion to Craven, right?
Yeah,
Which I think that made like $13 so far in movies. But I got something. All right, so
$13.
so which would you rather see in the next Spider-Man movie? Would you rather see Tom Holland Spider-Man versus Venom, or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man versus Venom?
That was a dope question. But you know what? I'm not going left. I'm not going right. I'm going straight through the middle.
You gonna say Tobey Maguire?
No, all I already got the screenplay in my head. All three
All
of
right.
them encounter a different version of that leftover symbiote goo or
Mm-hmm.
strand of it. Because remember, when Eddie goes to the bar and he's talking and he gets transported back to his dimension or his Earth, there's a piece of it left in the 616.
Right.
And then
Yeah, well, that's not. Yeah.
and then at the end of the movie, in his, where they're talking about the cockroach and the horse and all these other different things out there, there's still different strands. With the way that they got the battle royal about to come out with Doom coming in and everything like that, they could
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, they could incorporate all those in there as far as like they're encountering a different version of Venom. Like in the movie that the what is it, the Final Ride or whatever have you, the Venom that just released that we also did.
The Last Ride.
The Last Ride. There was an allusion to Flash Thompson, one of the soldiers who got his legs blown off.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
So he could be Agent Venom and they could do team ups or whatever have you. So the screenplay would be they interact with different variants of Venom. Tobey Maguire's already dealt with his Venom, so he could be the elder statesman who's providing like the guidance and telling them like this could happen to you. And meanwhile, one of them who encounters the Agent Venom version, they could be like, nah, he's helping out, whatever.
That's a dope idea, actually. I would put and pay money for that one.
Yeah, and then with Tom Holland's character, because he's on his own now and he's starting over from scratch, this could be the introduction to the canon version of Venom. So all that coming back together, I'm rocking with that, man.
Yeah, that'll definitely make more than $13.
Oh yeah, no question. no question.
That'll definitely do better than that.
Well, what do you call it? A preserver? Like, I'm trying to take your money, so like, I want to give the people what they want.
Please do, man, because people just want to watch. Whatever. Go ahead. That would take us into our conversation about Venom 2, which we did. I'm trying to look and see what episode it was when we did Venom 2, because Venom 3. Sorry, Venom 3.
Yeah.
Right? So just let people know to check that out.
Yeah, so I'm going with another question for you, man. Back to original list. What is the most anticipated movie that you're looking forward to in 2025, man?
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to Sinners, man.
Yeah.
Sinners.
Michael B. Jordan.
I want to see that. I want to see it. Number one, just like you said, because of Michael B. Jordan, who, I like him as an actor, but I'm also really interested in seeing him and Ryan Coogler get back together.
Yeah, again. Good tandem.
They've done a couple of movies that I really like. I think they get each other from an actor and a director standpoint. Yeah. Obviously, they did Creed 1, Black Panther. Now they're doing Sinners.
I agree.
With the Fruitvale Station way back.
Oh yeah.
So like they're like an actor and a director that are in sync with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Ryan Coogler stepping into another genre with like the horror movie genre. I'm not a horror movie guy, but I like that they're doing that. So it's like I'm looking forward to that. I know that's like a March 27th, 2025. That's one I definitely want to see that, man.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What do you got as far as movie that you're looking forward to?
Well, first I want to build up the year. Yeah, no. I appreciate you asking that. First, I want to build up the anticipation. Now, we've already mentioned like some of the Marvel flicks, some of the DC flicks, but you know what? There are some other things that are jumping off in the year too, such as where is this joint? I was talking about Ballerina, which is I'm looking forward to.
Anna de Armas, right?
Yeah. There's also,
John Wick.
I was about to say, and John Wick's in that joint. Man, everybody loves John Wick.
That's a good one. Yeah.
No, but that's not my film though.
Okay.
The build up.
You just give him 3 when
No, I'm not giving anything. I'm just telling the viewers what they can expect from future episodes that we're going to do. Because I always think that this is an opportunity for us to give a preview, if you will, to the audience as far as what they can anticipate from us going forward that we're definitely going to commit to.
It's a very movie podcast thing to do.
Well, we try to do what we can. But shout out to those who are of a lower brow that would like to see the Naked Gun, which we're not going to do, or I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel, which again we're not going to do, or even Freakier Friday, again not going to do. But there's also The Running Man that's also going to come out as well. But and I can't forget Avatar, Fire and Ash. But the movie
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. So
that I'm definitely gonna be able to see that. Okay,
you know what I
cool.
mean? So those are some of the things that CJ and I might indulge in, like on a personal, whatever have you, just to indulge like some, like I said, some lowbrow element of us. But the movie I'm really, really looking forward to is Mission Impossible.
Mm,
I'm really looking forward to seeing Mission
mm,
Impossible Final Reckoning on May 23rd. Um, One, I want to see how it sticks the landing.
yeah.
Two, I think Tom Cruise could go on forever, and I'm not sure why they're cutting that. Like, I need it to make sense for me. Like, why are they ending that? And then last but not least, with the new cast, I'm wondering if they're going to bring back Jeremy Renner. I know Ving Rhames is in it, but I'm wondering if they're going, because
Like
after,
bring everything back
yeah, you know
together.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
after he's healed up from his unfortunate snowplow incident,
Hmm.
I'm just wondering, is this going to be the send off of all cast members? Even what's her face? What is man, I can't think of her name. She was in the one that they were in Dubai. Her code name was Venus. She was married to uh what's the dude?
There's a lot of details.
Yeah, no, because I'm trying. This
There's
is
a
how
lot,
I
lot of details, except for
Paula Patton. That's how I. You got to remember the train of thought, man. Because I was thinking
that's
Robin
just,
Thicke, and I'm
right,
thinking,
right. R&B
yeah,
singer,
you know what I mean?
white guy,
Yeah,
not John B.
yeah, yeah. See,
Uh,
you see what I'm going?
father was on the show.
Yeah, Alan Thicke.
You're
Condolences,
right.
rest in power.
You're
Yeah,
going
man.
through all the citations to get to that one. Good.
See, that's how my mind was working. So, so the audience
I
can
heard it.
see, you
I
know what I
heard
mean?
it. Yeah, yeah, I heard
Yeah,
it.
no. So I want to see if she'll come back in that joint as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, man.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
All right. Let me see. I think this is my fifth question,
yeah,
and I want to make it a good one. All right. What is one movie that you saw? It could be like something that came out in 2024. It could be something that came out
yeah.
15 years ago, 30 years ago. What's one movie that you saw that we didn't get to cover this year that you wish we would have?
All right. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but none. And the reason why I say that is I think we do a good job of covering the movies that were meant to be covered during that period. Like
Okay.
I think we do a great job um of like having themed months, and that's going to be a
Hmm.
perfect segue to CJ dropping a little gem for the audience later on.
Hmm.
I think we do a great job of linking certain movies together. So like there'll
Hmm.
be a
Like Gladiator 2.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I think we do that very well. I think we target when they release movies that the audience is clamoring to see. And I also think that we introduce elements to those who like, I never saw this before. Like
Yeah.
I never saw Eyes Wide Shut. You know what I mean?
And you're
I'm
better for
uh,
it. And you're a better human being.
and I will say that, even though I didn't care for it, I think that there was a lot of things there that we discussed that like made
And
me
different things, yeah.
um appreciate what I have,
Mhm.
and appreciate those around me, and to really be mindful that I am an active participant in all of those interactions, relationships, and just express my gratitude to everyone. So yeah, so shout out to CJ for uh
For
so
exposing you to
yes, yes,
that.
yes.
So I would say that the one movie that I saw, and it almost kind of made my underrated, although um I think it's like it did get some publicity in like especially for Jeremy Wright, sorry, Jeffrey Wright, was American Fiction. So I
Mm,
really liked American Fiction.
we're gonna cover
It's
that though, man.
it's probably, yeah, we didn't get I saw it this year. So I
Mm,
saw it this year, and it was kind of like around it came out around that time where we had just transitioned into doing a YouTube channel. So
yeah,
we had like, because it came out in January, and then YouTube channel, we launched it with 4 Black History Month episodes,
that's
right? So we
right. And
did, yeah.
so it would have been
So we
redundant.
yeah, so we kind of missed it, but yeah, we're definitely gonna do it at some point. Just amazing film. Jeffrey Wright, Erica Alexander, Sterling K. Brown. What's your name from Girlfriend? I'm doing your thing now. Girlfriend, Diana Ross's daughter.
Stacey Ellis Ross.
Yes, yes, right. We're in sync now. Yeah, a really good film, man. So yeah, that's one that we didn't get to this year. We'll definitely get to in 2025, man.
No, but you know the thing too. Shout out to Tracy Ellis Ross too, by the way. I think the thing that I really want to hit home on is that there is Havoc that's coming out on Netflix. I definitely want to see that. There is The Order, which came out and we didn't cover that, and I think that'd be a dope topic for us to peep. That's with Jude Law. Basically, the summary is around the late 70s, mid 70s, I believe, is the time period where you're going to see the rise of extremist groups, in particular.
Oh, you know what? I did. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did see the preview for that.
Yeah.
One.
So, I think it's got Journey Smoothier in there in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a hearkening back to Civil War. And I think that would be a great way to introduce our appreciation of what our ancestors have done as far as like Black History Month or whatever. So I was thinking maybe we could somehow either incorporate that maybe like in that month of February or even after, like maybe March that week. You know what I mean? Like a nice little comparison contrast. I mean, we could work out the details, but essentially, I don't want cats to think like, oh, he means no, there was no movies. No, it's just that we do. CJ is a very instrumental in some of the stuff that we do with the movies, and I think his insight and foresight to these things have really helps us navigate. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I'm not cash up you no money, man, for Christmas gifts. Just know that I'm not doing it, man. I hear what you're saying, but no, it's not happening, man. My money is in transition. It's not happening. It ain't happening, man.
You're not completely liquid, is what you're saying?
Nah, listen, I wasn't in Bitcoin. I wasn't in.
Shout out to one of our boys on that joint, yo. Oh man, that's hilarious.
All right, what you got for your question number 5?
That's hilarious. All right, so I'm rocking with, what is the best new movie you saw on a streaming platform, man?
Best new movie I saw on a streaming platform. Yeah. Okay, so let me say this, man. We don't really cover documentaries. Right, we don't, and maybe at some point we will revisit that. But I love watching documentaries.
Really?
So I probably watch like one documentary, maybe 2 or 3 documentaries a month. I wouldn't say I watch one every week, but I watch quite a few.
Okay.
And one of the ones that really jumped out was on Netflix. It's this one called Bitcoin, and it's about a company that really tried to set itself up as an exchange trade place for Bitcoin and got all of this money, and it was all con. That's really what it comes down to. But like, it's one of those documentaries where they really spend time, not just with the story, but with the people in the story. And you kind of see like the evolution of how they got there. And it also tells a story of like just how little regulation there is around Bitcoin and around cryptocurrency in general, how easy it is for people to get exploited in it. And it's really done in this really visually pleasing way. There's like a lot of like graphics, and it helps you to kind of move the story along. And then the main characters, the real people, are interesting. So I watched it, and it was like, oh, it's long, but it's good. Like you feel like you're really learning something. And you just you learn a lot about like just how Bitcoin kind of blew up and how certain people were able to take advantage of that. You learn a lot about just how the justice system works and what people do and don't actually go to jail for doing, and how fraud like that can happen, and how hard it is to get your money back when fraud like that happens. So it was a good one. So yeah, I would say that Bitcoin on Netflix. I think it's still up there. So if you get a chance, you want to check it out, documentary. Real life, real stories, true crime kind of thing. Yeah, it's a good one.
All right.
What about you, man? Something you saw on streaming that you really dug?
Dude, the reason why I mentioned this is because there were I found that there were more things streaming that appealed to me than there were in the actual movie theater. So it's really more of a way. It's more of a shameless plug for me to talk about the things that I liked. And in particular, the most recent one was Cross.
That was really honest.
Yeah, that's what we do here, folks. Brutal honest.
That was honest. Like, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, nah, Cross, man. Shout out to Aldous Hodge, man. Like, yo, he really is the embodiment of Alex Cross, man. He did
and that's on Amazon. Yeah,
it's on Amazon
right?
Prime.
Amazon, yeah. Amazon.
He did a great job of really giving. Like, don't get me wrong, Morgan Freeman is the GOAT on that joint. Of as far as bringing Alex Cross to the major screen, the big screen. I was not feeling that Tyler Perry joint. I probably cut that joint off in like the first 2 minutes. And it's unfortunate too, because I thought there was potential there, but nah. Maybe if he would have directed it or maybe assisted with the screenplay, but not as an actor. But Aldous Hodge, nah, he gets busy in this, man. He brings the element of the physicality, the emotional, the mannerisms, the gestures, the the diction, the inflection in his voice, his demeanor. Like, he's a grieving husband in this. He's trying to raise his son and his daughter. He has his grandmother there. So, there is a matriarchal figure. It just appeals on so many levels. As far as like, tenderness, sympathy, sentiment, emotional, as well as, my favorite joint, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, killer joint. And then, also.
If it was called Alex Cross the Killer.
Yeah. Even better.
You would have loved it even more.
Better.
Yeah, it's a good. I haven't finished it yet. I'm halfway through. Yeah. I'm halfway through it. So I can't really weigh in on it yet because I like to see it through to the end. But
also,
a lot of people have been saying.
I was gonna say, really, but if you can, man, find the time to.
Yeah, I'll finish it. I will finish it.
Yeah. And then also want to give major kudos to the Penguin. I thought it was gonna be trash, to be honest with you. Like, why would they put him in a fat suit? Like, why would they do that? What?
A lot of people were saying that the Penguin is really good.
No.
I haven't gotten a chance to check it out.
No.
I haven't got a
check
chance to
that out when you get time. Definitely check that out. And then, of course, even though it was earlier in the year, and they're just about to release the joint again, I'm definitely looking forward to what's his name? It's based upon a book. We're going to do this again. Tom Cruise played him.
It's based on the book. Tom Cruise played
He's an action hero. Jack Reacher. There you go.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, Reacher. I'm looking forward to this next one because now he's fighting someone who's even bigger than he is. A 7'2" bodybuilder, man.
And that's like wasn't it Alan Rickman?
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah,
and
that's a big dude by himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He should be playing linebacker for the Saints or something.
Yeah, man. Like
stop the Packers. They could have got stopped last night.
Oh, that's ill, man.
Yeah, can you imagine like people's money is messed up? They took bets on that game, man. What if you bet the under? Like, what if you just bet somebody on the Saints would score? Like, you lost, like, your Christmas is messed up off that. Anyway, that wasn't the point. Your Christmas is bad. Like, you're like, oh my gosh. Daddy, why are there no tree? Why is there no Christmas tree? Like, I can't do it.
I can't afford it.
They started Desmond Ritter. Like, that's what happened.
Oh, you taking shots now? I see what you did there.
That's what they did. They started Desmond Ritter.
He's with
us. I don't know why they did that.
He was with us. That's why. That's what I'm saying. You taking shots. Okay. I see how it is.
Oh, wait. I'm talking about, I meant to talk about.
Oh, you taking shots now.
Wait, Desmond Ritter plays quarterback for the Saints, right? He's your. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry. My
bad. Like you didn't know. You didn't know that.
My bad. My fault.
You didn't know that.
My fault, man. You know what? I forgot, man. I forget. Like, sometimes I forget if the Raiders play the Steelers this year. Did they?
That's what we doing on Christmas. Good tidings, goodwill towards public.
You're right. No, you're right. I did say about positivity. You're right.
It's Spencer Rattler, man. Spencer Rattler was the Saints QB, man. Dead all this talk, man.
Well, he should have been Spencer Riddler, whoever he was. He wasn't doing that. All right, all right, all right.
Oh,
It's not a sport. It's not a sports show. It's not a
oh,
sports show.
that's crazy.
It's a movie show. All right.
Oh,
So then, so you said Alan Rickman. So you said Jack Reacher. That's something else. Yeah. Good.
not Alan Rickman. Unfortunately, he passed, but it's Alan Richson.
Oh man, I'm killing these dudes'
Yeah.
names. I'm so sorry, man.
But
I'm
I know
so
who you're
sorry.
talking about. Yeah.
You know, I had some eggnog this morning. That's what it is, man. I'm eggnogged up. That's what it is. Blame it on the eggnog. Don't blame it on me.
Okay, T-Pain.
try,
Um,
try to do my head, not my heart, not my head, man. Or my head, not my heart. Man. My bad.
uh,
Everybody's all y'all did good.
oh, that's crazy. Oh,
Except Spencer Rattler. He
no,
didn't. Okay.
he unfortunately. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing that new Reacher joint, man. It looked really action packed, and a lot of people who actually follow the series of books and such are saying like this is one of the more stories that they were looking forward to.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, man. So look, my last joint, man, I'm gonna close out with something about the show, man. So we did so we're at 60. This is gonna be episode 63,
Mhm.
man. We covered a lot of shows, this year, obviously. Yo, what was your favorite Sticky Floors episode of 2024, man?
Wow, that's tough, man.
I know, because they're all so good.
Nah, you know what? Real talk,
That's
man. I think
a
we have a
lot.
good time on the show. I think we cover a lot of movies that are very intriguing, thought provoking, and are catalysts for other discussions later, whether it be like our group joint with a lot of dudes that we rock with, or just like separate. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
our own different avenues that we venture off into. And I get a lot of discussions or like tidbits from people like, hey, I really like this or I really like that.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
was dope. Especially like some of the stuff that is a little bit more mainstream. Like people loved that Gremlins joint. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was surprising. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that wasn't one of my favorites. One of no, not at all.
What was one of your favorites, man? That's the question. Is
I
what
know, but
was
I
your
gotta
favorite?
build up the hype, man. I gotta build
Oh,
up the
okay.
suspense,
Okay.
man. You're
All
killing
right.
the
All
joint.
right. All right. All
Um,
right. All right. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. All seriousness. Um, Honestly, I think we're as good as our last joint, and I really had a good time watching our last joint that just posted. There's only two joints on there right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I really enjoyed that only because
You talking about Eyes Wide
yeah,
Shut?
no,
Wow.
and
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying that because you pointed something out. I'm gonna give myself some props, something I don't normally do for those that know me. Um, I think I do a great job of, even if I don't like a movie, I think I'm still able to be objective about the movie. And and I usually like the movies we like. This is the first movie that I utterly detested. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that I was able to bring something to the film that didn't display my just disdain for the movie. You know what I mean? Like I hope they serve beer in hell. I
Okay.
think that was like my best joint where I like written like the opening and the closing on
Okay.
that. But I if I'm being fair, like I think the true measure of me is when I don't like something, but you would never know because I still am able to bring forth effort and honesty and integrity to the joint.
Okay. So is it really
No,
is
no,
it
I'm
is
serious,
it
man, because
really Eyes Wide Shut, or is it
no,
or is it
no, I'm telling you, it's
I
eyes
hope
wide
they
shut.
serve beer
I
in
think
hell?
we're as good as our last joint, and I really think if the show ended, you know what I mean, if we just this was the the series finale, like I'd be like, yeah, I'm good with how we ended things on that because look at it. We talked about relationships, we talked about group dynamics, we talked about honesty, integrity, openness. Like these are major themes that go on in our major in every human being's life. You know what I mean? It's near and dear to me because behind the scenes in the pre-production joint as well as at the after joint when we may talk about things in post-production, um, where it made me reassess and evaluate my relationships and who I interact with, and
Mhm.
truth. Like what's the saying? Truth, what that you always say, truth without compassion is brutality. And
honesty without
yeah,
compassion
yeah. So
is brutality. Yeah,
so
and go
so
ahead.
I just think like, yo, you were able to enlighten me and remind me of some things, and I left there, and that's what I'm saying. Like I left there, and I reached out to people. I was like, yo, I appreciate you. Even though I don't always mess with what you say or what you do or your critiques or whatever have you, whether it be about the show or how I'm going about writing things, but because I ask for feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this too much? Should I, cut this down or whatever? But that really helped me. So, like I said, shout out to you, man. I'll be expecting $50 to
it's not happening
via Zelle.
And as far and listen, since we're giving gifts, man, shout outs to William Shelton, who's the person who gave me that quote of honesty without compassion is brutality. And also on the I hope they serve beer in hell. That was episode 28. So if anybody wants to go check that out, check out our breakdown on that one. That was that. As far as for me goes, I just think Dune 2, our show Dune 2, episode 37 was it was just a fun one to do. And it was like, it's just like we talked about in the beginning. It was so much in Dune. I just think when there's a lot that's in a movie, it just allows us to vibe with it. And we were just, sometimes the basket is really big, like the Michael Jordan joint, where you just hit all the 3-pointers. Like that's how I felt like. We was just we was just shooting 3-pointers and everything was going in, man.
I dig it.
So
I dig it.
So that's what I got.
I had a series of questions, but I think I'm going to leave that for when we do our Oscar or Academy Golden Globe type joint. So that's why I'm not going to deal with those, but I would like to use one of CJ's joints. What is the movie that you would like to see remade?
What's the one that I'd like to see be remade? So here's the thing, man.
Because I thought that was a dope question. Like,
thank you, man. I thought about this one because it was we put together so many different questions that we could ask, right? But I'm ready to see a Star Wars movie, man.
Word.
I'm ready to go into a theater and I want to see some big ships. I want to see some lightsabers swinging. I want to hear that sound. I want to have that experience again. And I feel like, obviously the last time was The Rise of Skywalker, which I didn't love. And I just want to have that, there have been a couple times in a couple series, a couple episodes of The Mandalorian gave that to me. A couple episodes of Ahsoka gave that real Star Wars vibe to me. But I would love to see that. So I don't think there's anything planned anytime soon. But I know it's not technically a remake. Maybe it could be a continuation of a story or something. I would really love to see a really good Star Wars movie. Man.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because I literally was watching maybe around like 6:30 in the morning an interview that Matt Lantern, the voice of Anakin Skywalker, gave, and he made a good point. I don't think that people actually did their homework, and I mean the entire production, director, all of them didn't do their homework, and I think they allowed what's the lady's name who's in charge of that whole thing?
I'm about to do it again. We're doing more time.
No, I can't think of her name. Like everybody despised her, man. She's like an executive at Disney. She took over.
Who's she married to? Who's she married to?
She's with Lucas. She's with Lucasfilm.
I know. I actually don't know who the person is. This one I don't. If they were in a movie, or TV show, I might be able to give it to you. But what's
Kathleen Kennedy, man? Once she took over, she really messed everything up. And what I mean by that is, how does Luke go from being remorseful and, saddened by him trying to basically off his nephew to becoming a hermit who wants nothing to do with the revolution, if you will, the the rebellion.
Yeah, Luke Trail wasn't.
Yeah, great. And then all of a sudden, he comes back to his sister only to clown and mock his nephew. Like, come on, dude, see you around, kid.
As a force.
Yeah,
ghost.
I'm just like, man.
I mean, and not even as a force ghost, as a force projection.
Yeah, and so when Matt pointed that out, I think he was right, man. I think the fact that they didn't know the tone, they didn't know the voice, they didn't know the actors. So CJ and I, we've been we're in another group joint, and I had been sending him like basically Skywalker interviews with different characters and such. And I would love to see Keanu Reeves as Revan, and him and that golden age of the Star Wars joint where they could have in
She's saying go back like
like priest,
pre-Skywalker
yeah,
stories.
and
Okay.
just somehow
Okay.
put in Darth Maul and Satele, and just things like that, man. Like that would be dope. I mean, like
Yeah.
especially now that Keanu is like he's beloved to a degree that none other. I definitely would like to see that, man. I would definitely like to see that.
Yeah. If we can get 10 Mission Impossible films and
Oh
11
yeah,
and 11 Fast and Furiouses, there's still some room for Star Wars.
definitely.
There's still some
Yeah,
Star Wars stories that can be told. I'd like to see it. I just there's nothing to me like being in a theater and hearing that music and the crawl come down like that. That will just always be something that just brings a smile to my face. And it's a movie going experience I haven't had in a long time.
I dig it. But closing this out, man, for me, even I was giving you props on that. For me, it's none. There's nothing I want to see remade that hasn't been remade or is in the midst of being remade that I know of. But what I would like to see is finally to get that Ben Affleck Batman movie that he was coming out with that I heard was dope from other people that were talking about, like they got to read the script and things like that. Like to have Joe Manganiello as Slade, Deathstroke, to have in the cameo of Lex Luthor, and things like that, man. Like I think that would have been dope. Like that Hush type joint that would have been in there too. Like I think that would have been a really great way to showcase that Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
That's gonna be it. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Like we've gotten the
yeah.
Snyderverse after years after the joint came out. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's an interesting one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, that hey, never. Well, actually, you can't ever say never. Never say never, because 20 years from now, they might just be doing AI projection, but the whole joint,
maybe
of the whole joint, just use Ben Affleck's voice and put it in the younger body and go from that point.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. So look, that's what we got, man. 12 questions, 12 days of Christmas style, closing out 2024. Couple of quick things. Number one, we will be back beginning of the year. We're gonna do a month of Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah,
so
can't wait for that.
So yeah, a lot of good films, a lot of good material there. It'll be hard for us to just pick four, actually. He's
arguably the best. Yeah, he's arguably the best director of all time, man. You could make a case for it.
He's up there. He's on top right now. He's like Patrick Mahomes, man. He's on Tommy a little
bit.
That's
an interesting comparison.
That might be like Scorsese. It might be like that. But anyway, that's a different football reference conversation. Look, man, before we close out, man, I just want to say it's been a pleasure, man. Another year doing this with you. 2024 was a great year. Definitely helped to grow the channel. For all those that signed up, for all those that subscribed, for all those that shared and liked, we appreciate you. Please continue to do that. Mr. Will, anything you want to say to the listening and viewing audience before we close out this year?
No, I just want to be very respectful and humble and appreciative of everyone tuning in, signing up, giving suggestions. Like there have been people who have reached out to us and said, "Hey, we should do this," or "What about that?" I love the feedback. I love that. We had some people like really involved in the reindeer games joint. I like that episode too, and they were sharing that in real time. So I'm just thankful to everyone that who watches and tunes in.
There it is. And so once again, the Sticky Floors podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, share. And yeah, if you got movies that you want us to check us out or want us to check out, please let us know. We'll be happy to do that. We will see y'all in 2025. Peace.